Hey, my name is Lizzie Smiley, and I absolutely love helping people connect with their calling and all the tools they need to kick roadblocks and excuses right out the door so they can cultivate the life they dream about. If you want to launch, grow, pivot, or scale your Etsy shop, or you've always wanted to develop the mindset and skills to run your own business, then I'm your girl. I've had that entrepreneurial spirit going strong since my very first lemonade stand, and now I'm a work-at-home mama with multiple online companies and a full-time Etsy shop, all while being present with my kids for the everyday chaos and most important milestones. On this podcast, we'll talk about all things business, mindset, Etsy, creativity, dazzling our customers, and so much more. There's plenty of room at this table for you, so scooch on in and let's go. I'm holding nothing back. Welcome to How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. I'm so glad you're here. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We have such a fresh, fun, new conversation this week on a subject we've just never talked about before, which is DTF. And you will find out what that means here soon. If you are on TikTok, you probably already know your Etsy bestie, who is Dory, who's going to be here on the show today. And I'm really excited for you to meet. She and I are both real high energy. It's such a fun talk. I feel like we go down all of the best rabbit holes without going too crazy off topic. I'm actually really proud of us. This was just a great conversation, and I'm so excited for you to just cozy up to the fireplace with us and chat. Dory is a multi-passionate entrepreneur with a knack for turning creativity into thriving businesses. With a background in interior design, architecture, and graphic design, she discovered her entrepreneurial spirit early on. Relatable. With her first entrepreneurial endeavor beginning in the hallways of her middle school, flipping lollipops for a profit. Gangster. She's been addicted to business and the entrepreneurial life ever since. In 2007, life threw a curveball when the housing market crash led to a layoff from her interior design job. But instead of backing down, Dory leaned into resilience and creativity, launching a baby clothing company on Etsy. That decision sparked yet another love affair with entrepreneurship, and she never looked back. Today, Dory runs multiple successful online businesses, including a print-on-demand and press-on-demand DTF enterprise that blends creativity and profitability. As an Etsy and e-commerce expert and coach, she now helps aspiring sellers turn their ideas into income by sharing actionable strategies for standing out in competitive markets. Whether it's helping others embrace their potential or scaling their own ventures, Dory is all about combining passion and strategy to create a life of freedom, creativity, and impact. Let's dig in, you guys. Please help me welcome Dory to the podcast. Sorry, guys, I got to cut in with one last minute announcement. As many of you know, last month I opened up some shop audits on my Instagram. By the way, follow at How to Sell Your Stuff. It's where I announce all kinds of things I can't necessarily just blast here to thousands of you or put out on my email list. But if you follow on Instagram, you kind of get the intel. So I tested some shop audits because I have discontinued the one-on-one coaching. And I'm going to take them on as my schedule allows. I'm so swamped, but I'll announce them on my stories when I open them up. However, so many of you have been reaching out for some one-on-one help, and specifically new shop owners or people who are thinking about it really want to learn SEO. So I'm going to do a live Etsy SEO workshop on February 27th. It's a Thursday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And if you get onto that live call, if you join us for that call, you will not only get an SEO overview. I will teach you everything from how the algorithm works, how to find good SEO, why it matters, where to put it on your listing, all of my secrets. And then I'm going to do a 30-minute Q&A, and I'll do as many shop audits as I can on that call. It will not be available for sale after this one. This is a little different. It's going to be you will get a replay, but you will not be able to sign up for this after the fact. So even if you can't come live, if you need some SEO help, this is a great workshop to add. The link is going to be in the show notes. Grab it now. There's early bird pricing. It will go up on February 14th. But if you need help, if you want a one-on-one kind of shop audit situation, you have some questions you want to ask me personally, or you really know you need help with SEO. By the way, if you don't know you need help with SEO, if you are not getting views on your listings, that's an SEO problem. 100% of the time. No views means SEO. Then you are going to want to join me for this workshop, and I'll see some of you there. Now back to the podcast. Yay, Dory, hi, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Lizzie. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
I have to tell you, you've been like the highlight of my calendar. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Well, and I'm not a big consumer of other people's content, but I've been super aware of who you are, and we've DM'd for years now. But every time I do see a video of yours, I just get this big smile. I'm like, that's my squirrel energy. That's my my ADHD bestie over there.
I originally thought when we were talking about doing a podcast, episode together, I thought, oh my God, I don't know if the people are going to have enough time in the world to get through this. Between
Yeah.
your ADD thoughts and my ADD thoughts, I'm like, I hope Lizzie has like 5 hours to sit out for this.
You know what, though? What's so interesting is I do think our people listen to this because, as you know, I go off on tangents all the time, and I worry about. I'm sure some people like leave the podcast over it, but typically those episodes, like, oh, who Gold City Ventures, and
Yeah.
why is his name escaping? Cody,
Yeah.
and Preston Cox, like they're like us, and it's like, and people love it. I get the most compliments about it, so I think we're gonna be good, Dory. We may have to like make this a thing.
And I mean, that's where some of the best like golden, nuggets of info come from, was kind of off scripted. So,
And like we're both here to really like serve,
mhm.
but I think just like I would say with someone's Etsy shop, yeah, you're there to serve the customer and they should be your number one thought. But if you're not having fun, then what's the point? And so at the end of the day, you and I are having fun, Dory, and everyone else can just hang out with us if they want to tolerate our
Exactly.
fun.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I got to come at you with like the ultimate question about DTF, which some people are like, what is that? I promise you they
Yeah.
clicked play. I just want to start I want to start with like the bottom line, which is, in your opinion, what makes DTF a better approach than print on demand? Like, why do you choose to spend your time making your products rather than just all print on demand?
There's a few big reasons. One of the biggest reasons is profit margins. So profit margins are quite a bit larger than print on demand. Now, someone's gonna, listen to this and argue, well, yeah, because like you're having to
Labor.
make it. Yeah. But what people don't know or don't understand is that to make your own products with DTF is so fast and so easy, and there's such a low barrier to entry as far as cost of goods to get started. It's really not that big of a deal. Like even when I am really, really busy and put it this way, it takes on average 10 seconds to press a shirt, let's say, and then you repress it for a few seconds, but let's call it 15 seconds per shirt. So do the math. You can do, 50, whatever shirts in an hour, and I could, if I had 50 orders come in one day, I could literally work for an hour and a half in the morning and be done for the rest of the day. So my point is like print on demand really honestly takes kind of same amount of work. It's just a different kind of work because you're in your Etsy shop constantly, updating things and making designs and all of that. But your profit margins that you would see with print on demand, as we all know, are 30, 50%, somewhere in there. 50%, 60% if you have a really good, profitable.
Super rare. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
super rare. So, I mean, you're looking at an average print on demand product in the 30%, margin, really realistically, when all of your fees and all that stuff are taken out. With DTF, my profit margins on my Shopify site, for instance, I mean, they tell me what my profit margins are when I put in my cost per goods and then, my retail, and I have 70 to 80% profit margins in my Shopify store. So,
That's insane.
yeah, it's crazy. And, it depends on the product. There's some products where you can have,
Mhm.
like, a T-shirt. So, for instance, a Comfort Colors T-shirt on, and print on demand through Printify, whatever the print provider is. And again, depending on whether you have, like, Printify Premium or not, I mean, you're looking at maybe $15, let's say, for your cost put into that. Well, I can buy that Comfort Colors shirt for, $5, and I can
Mhm.
put a transfer on it that costs me like $1 or $2, and I can sell it. I sell them all day long for $32 to $36 on my site. So, hats are another huge thing, profit for hats, like trucker hats, stuff like that. So anyway, profitability, I'll stay on track here because
No,
profitability
you are. I'm eating it up.
profitability is one thing. So profit margins would be number one. Quality control would be a huge number two because, as good as Printify, Printful, whoever you use, as good as they are not you, and they have employees, and ultimately there are quality issues, placement issues, quality issues as far as the print goes, all of that. With DTF, there's zero quality issues because if you have a quality DTF supplier, which I do, and they happen to be local, so I can literally drive there and pick up my DTF prints same day if I want to, I'm in control of everything that goes out. And I tell you, like when I started my TikTok shop, I started 1 year ago in January of 2024, and I sold over $50,000 last year in just TikTok shop. And Lizzie, the crazier part to all of this is that one single shirt was responsible for over 1,000 of those 2,000 sales. One single design. So, yeah, I'm tired of making that t-shirt, but
That's
it
okay.
paid it paid my bills, and my point to that is that I now have, over 2,000 sales in my TikTok shop that, brought in over $50,000 in revenue, but I have literally one bad review. And that one bad
Yep.
review came way early on when I was learning. There's a learning curve, and it was completely my fault. I forgot to like pre-press the shirt before I pressed the transfer on. And long story short, they washed it and it started peeling. But I never did that again, and I never had a bad review again. So quality control is a huge one. The two other biggest things would be the creative control over it, essentially, because, with print on demand, we have certain areas, print areas and stuff that we have to stay within. With DTF, I can do as big a print as I want. I can do it up here. I can do it on the sleeve. I can do it on the back. I can do it in the armpit. It doesn't matter. I can do it anywhere. So your creative control is there, endless possibilities there. And then, I mean, you can argue my last thing would be turnaround time can be faster, but that really just depends on your resources. So I happen to have
Inventory.
yeah. Behind behind the screen here is my wall of shirts and sweatshirts that I was hiding.
Oh, I'm sad I don't get to see that actually then. All the colors behind you.
I can pull it down. You can see it. I was just doing that for the sake of your podcast, so it didn't look like a, crazy mess going on behind there. But I can turn. So when I get orders in, so it's funny because I'll get orders either through Etsy or TikTok Shop or my website. I'm sitting there at the computer working. The order comes in. I'm already making stuff, right? So I make it and I like ship it out in like 10 minutes, and I get an email from somebody. They're like, I just placed an order and like it already says it's shipped. Is that true? And I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'm literally just sitting here like making them. It's like this open 24 hours shop that I can just, make stuff at the drop of a dime. So, I can get stuff out same day. Anyway, those would be like the top things, benefits of DTF and, making it yourself versus print on demand.
That like I asked that question for myself too, and that completely exceeded my expectations, Dory. I would have guessed profit margins because once you factor in labor, but I had no appreciation for how fast it can be.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that people are like, "Well, yeah, but you're making it." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm working an hour a day." And,
Yes,
if you're doing your Etsy shop right, you're working an hour a day in your Etsy shop
right.
too, right? So.
The only real downside would be inventory, which,
Mhm.
as someone I had like a mock-up shop for a while, and as someone who like bought all of the shirts to take pictures of, it's not that expensive. I think
No.
I got like, I don't know, 50 shirts
Right.
for $200
Yep.
kind of thing, like something crazy. It was not bad at all. It's the storing of it, but that would be the hardest
It
part.
is, but that's one of the things. I have a module in my DTF domination course. I have a module that teaches students how to get started with it slowly without getting overwhelmed, because I
Yeah.
lucked out because I have a warehouse within 30 minutes and I have a DTF printer, supplier within 30 minutes. I can get everything I need same day. But, even if you're in the boonies, I give them all of my resources inside. So worst case scenario, as long as they learn the timing of their resources, they know
Yep.
that that's their maximum turnaround time. And most of them, you're talking like, even if you're out in the kind of the boonies, I would still say your turnaround time, for shirts or like blanks or anything like that, it depends where you're ordering from. You're only talking these days a couple of days maybe. And there's even places, I want to say it's Jiffy shirts.
Yeah, I ordered from them. They're great, actually. It
I
was pretty
think they're the
fast.
ones that have like a membership where if you pay like $29 or something stupid low, they guarantee next day delivery or something. So there's ways around it. There's ways around it. And then like my DTF people that print mine, yes, I can drive there and I can go pick them up same day, but they also have 24-hour turnaround. So anyone, who's ordering DTF prints from them, they will ship out within 24 hours. So, and you can select your shipping method if you want it to come quickly.
I think like post-pandemic supply issues are nothing like they were. I mean,
No, they're
in
not.
2020, it was a nightmare at times. Even we couldn't get wood for the signs. We couldn't
Yeah.
get chalk paint. It was a whole thing.
Well,
These
and it was
days,
like 20 times the cost after that.
yeah, you know what is the hardest thing for me these days to get is shipping boxes, because we need a special size for our like engraved boxes. Okay,
Yeah.
Dory, I want to. There's so many. It's beginning of the year. There's so many new people coming to Etsy and listening. So I do want to break this down. I want to kind of back up a little bit after going at you with that question. Most people, I think, now kind of know what print on demand is, where you upload the design to somewhere like Printify and then they print the product and ship it for you. But what, like, I can't even remember what does DTF stand for, and how, like, walk us through the process. How do you sell DTF on Etsy? Like, in a, in just like a short synopsis.
Yeah. DTF stands for direct to film. And essentially all it is,
Oh, direct to
yeah,
film.
yes, it's direct to film and it's the printing method that is used. So they're using specific inks and powders on the transfers. So like
Oh, you guys need to watch on YouTube. She's going to hold up an example if you want to see. Just go watch on YouTube.
so they look like this.
Oh, cute.
And it's print on the back. It has white. It's kind of like direct to garment printing. They do the white, ink first, and then they lay the colors over it. But it's printing direct to film, and then this goes on your, shirt and your heat press, and you press it on. So there's actually two types. There's DTF, which is for soft goods, and then there's UV DTF, which is for hard goods. And of course, I don't have anything within reach at the moment, but UV DTF would be used for any of your hard surfaces. And this is why it's so amazing. You can do DTF or UV DTF on like anything: metal, glass, wood. I make Libby cups and tumblers and keychains, and there's so much fun stuff you can do with it. It's really crazy. So DTF is direct to film. Let's see, what was the second part of that?
Well, let me ask this real quick. Is it different from vinyl?
Yes. Yeah, it is. So vinyl is now definitely like, as they would
Phasing
say,
out, right?
5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, there are still many, many successful crafters using vinyl and Cricut. And they're, I can't speak to the quality of their stuff, but I'll tell you vinyl
Yeah.
now it will eventually typically stretch, crack, peel.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the longevity of DTF. And for those of you who are watching this that you have done vinyl, and Lizzie, I know you've done it with your signs, right?
Reverse. We would make stencils. We would use the cut.
Oh,
We had that kind of cutter and we made stencils to paint.
okay. Well, with vinyl, there's a thing called weeding where you have to actually
Oh,
so if you know what weeding is very tedious and it's obnoxious. So like there's nobody's got time for that. So there are
no.
people who do that. Typically it's a smaller base, at home crafty mom who has a little side business, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But my opinion would be, once you've discovered DTF, why in the world would you ever go back to vinyl? For sure. Yeah.
So, okay. So, yeah, well, okay, so the other thing I had said was like, walk us through how, so like you put a listing on Etsy
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah.
how do you make this product? Like, what would the steps be? Someone
Yeah.
orders it, you put a t-shirt with your design on it. They
Yeah,
order
and
it.
I usually will, also put a video in there too, 'cause, we all know, like, with Etsy, you're gonna get, even more views and conversions with video. So I try to make a video every time I make a product, a version of one of my shirts or my hats or something. I try to make a video of it and upload that into my Etsy listings too, so they can truly see that, like, it's me making it. But my process is, in the morning, I walk in my room, I turn on my heat press and my hat press, which is right there, and wait for it to heat up for a few minutes, look at my orders. An order comes into Etsy and it's like, this shirt on this color and this size. I go behind this mysterious wall back there and I pick up that shirt or that sweatshirt, and I'll tilt my camera over this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, those are all of the prints, the
Yeah,
DTF prints.
these are all the DTF prints that I have kind of neatly organized and stored there.
Yeah.
I have a visual memory, so it's like I know right where each one is just from grabbing it a million times. Yeah, and I put the t-shirt on the heat press and I press it for a few seconds and peel off the transfer, press it again to really just, make sure it's really adhered and pack. Just I have all my packing stuff right here ready to go. I pack everything, label it, and then ship it out.
You mentioned you have a DTF printer. So those actual designs, you're making the design and then you're sending a PNG to somebody to make it for you?
Yeah.
Or can
Yeah,
someone get that
so
printer in their house? Can they have that piece as well? Or
I do not recommend it. So
okay,
there's
juicy
sublimation.
stuff.
Yeah, there's sublimation and then there's DTF. You can get a
Okay.
sublimation printer much less expensive than you can get a DTF printer. And you can even like convert printers, regular printers to sublimation and so on and so forth. But we're not going to even talk about sublimation because sublimation is very similar. For those that are listening and don't know, it's very similar, but there are a lot of limitations with sublimation. But it's essentially the same thing. It's a transfer that you heat press on something. With DTF, no, I do not recommend printing your own. The machines are large, very expensive, and you're talking about a headache with maintenance and supplies and a headache. I would never in a million years. And one of the questions I always get about my DTF course is, do I have to buy a DTF printer? And I'm like, girl, do you think I would put you in a, course that's $197 or whatever it is at the time, and make you buy a $3,000 printer? No. So like I said, I give my resources inside the course, but I also tell students, if chances are DTF is so big now that chances are you can probably find your own local printer that you can have that relationship with that I do. So I
Would you
found
would you like search DTF printer? Is that what I would search?
so yeah, I think when I found
DTF
mine,
printing. Yeah,
yeah,
nearby.
DTF printing nearby. There you go. And so the people that print mine, they used to be into screen printing and
Yeah.
embroidery, but you'll find out that they know that the market is moving in different directions now. And a lot of the screen printers and embroidery have either quit doing that or have added on DTF to what they offer. So in my case, they've pretty much stopped doing embroidery and a lot of the screen printing, and they only offer DTF and UV DTF printing services now. So that's all they do.
Are you a print on demand or digital product Etsy seller who's tight on time or still learning all of the Etsy secrets? I totally remember the days of having no idea what product to create next before I learned how to make those informed decisions so I can really identify with where you're at. I know how stressful and frustrating it can be to just create listing after listing and see little to no results. You wonder what you're doing wrong and you just want someone to tell you what to create that's actually going to sell. Where are those opportunities? So let me give you a leg up with my weekly trends and opportunities report. You just join my membership, and every Monday, I'm going to send you an email with a list of exactly what is trending right now, with a video tutorial showing you how I found those trends and how to apply them in your shop. We're taking guesswork and extensive time off of your table. I'm also going to send you 5 print-on-demand and digital product opportunities that are growing in demand right now, helping new shops make sales and still have very low saturation in the marketplace. So your tight schedule, your newbie status doesn't have to hold you back anymore. I'm going to help you earn while you learn. You can grab my free demo to start and see an example of what the weekly trends and opportunities email looks like right from the show notes. See what you're going to get, and I will see you on the inside soon.
So then the only thing you have to buy, you obviously have to have Canva or something to create the design in.
Yeah.
You're sending the printer your files to actually create the sticky thing for you to put on the shirt.
Yeah. So there's two ways you can buy transfers. You can buy them as single transfers, just like this, and they're pre-cut to whatever size your design is. Or you can buy a gang sheet, which is, again, it's out of reach at the moment, but a gang sheet is just a very long, continuous roll of transfers, and you can just Tetris all your PNGs on the gang sheet however you want and fit. So that way, when you're printing as much as, or making as much as I am, it cuts your cost down, because a single DTF transfer, if you're just printing like 1 or 2 or 5 at a time or something, this might cost you, $4 or $5 a piece, which obviously that would add a lot to your bottom line for your eat into your profit margins. So on a gang sheet, I print 240-inch long. I print basically 12 feet long gang sheets at a time, and they have hundreds of prints on them. So I can get my cost down to $1-ish. It depends on the size of the design, but so you upload your PNG. They have what's on their website. It's called a ganger, and essentially you just drag and drop your PNGs in there, and you can scale it up and down and twist it all around and fit as many images as you can on that sheet and make sure they're not overlapping and all of that. And then you submit it, and then I get a text like your order's ready, and I go pick it up.
What was impressive too about that design you held up is it almost looked like it was iridescent, like in places. So you can get like an ombre effect. Could you get like
So this is ombre with the color, but it's
right?
not,
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, it's not see-through because we have white on the back, right?
Yeah.
That's the other. Okay, so you're
Glitter?
asking.
Can you do glitter?
There are versions of DTF with glitter. Yeah, it depends on your printer and what they offer. They can have foil options, metallic options, glitter options, things like that. Yeah, I don't personally use anything with glitter because it just my brand is not glitter at all.
No, it's
other,
not. You're right.
No, the other amazing thing about it. I'm gonna grab this one for instance. The color and the accuracy is just so.
Jeez.
The colors are beautiful. There is no limitation. So we talked about sublimation for briefly for a minute, but there's no limitations with DTF on what kind of fabric you can put it on and what color can go on what. It's so versatile. It's like I don't know why anyone would use anything else. So
Dory.
and there's no setup fees. Like with screen printing, there's a setup fee because it's a pain in the butt to burn the screen and have all these messy inks and all of that. Of course, they're going to charge you to set that up, especially if you're making, and then what are you going to do? You launch a design and you pay for the setup fee and then you end up not selling it and whatever. So with this, I tell my students, start off with, I only carry comfort color shirts. That's it. And
Smart.
I do Gildan sweatshirts right now.
Yeah.
I'm considering changing to the Bella sponge fleece because they're so nice and comfy.
Wait, what? I don't even know about this yet. I need to get one immediately. Bella has a good sweatshirt?
They have a good it's called sponge fleece. I'm forgetting the
sponge fleece.
The like the SKU number that they call it, but they have a hoodie and a regular sweatshirt and it's called a sponge fleece. And I'm
going to order one from you. Oh, you don't have them yet. Do you have them yet?
Yeah, no, you can just order one like regular price from Amazon. They have them on Amazon for like 20 something bucks. The only reason I haven't made the jump right yet is number one, I have some stock of Gildan to move through this season.
I do love the Gildan cruise. I do.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to switch yet. It's really tough. All in cost, for what I have in a Gildan sweatshirt and versus what I charge for it. I'm like, I can't really honestly, I feel like I can't charge that much more for the Bella, and the Bella is twice as much as the Gildan 18,000.
Okay. So see, this is part of the inventory. Do you know if Printify has these yet? The sponge fleece?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll just order one of my own. That's amazing then. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they do. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. If not, just like I said, order one. I ordered 3 for myself. They're probably in my mailbox right now from Amazon just because like when I'm not ready to order them for my business yet. And I just want some for my own. That they're so light. So I hate hoodies because they always go like this and pull back and I'm always doing this and it drives me nuts.
Yes.
Well, my husband came home from a bourbon whiskey trail trip in Kentucky with his best friends.
Man after my own heart.
And he brought me a sweatshirt from Castle Key. And he was, I'm like, okay, but it was a hoodie. And I'm like, oh God, I'm going to hate this, whatever. And I put it on. I'm like, oh, this is my new favorite sweatshirt. Well, they had branded it there. So I didn't know what brand it was, but I have connections. So I got him one of my Facebook groups and I'm like, girls, tell me what sweatshirt is this? And I gave them a close up and they're like, oh, that looks like the blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, it was the Bella. And so there you go. It's so lightweight and spongy. The hoodie doesn't pull back. It's so lightweight and fluffy. The Gildan are good, but they're not nearly as soft.
Wow.
They're a great all around budget friendly sweatshirt for sure. But if you want to kick it up a notch, I'm loving the Bella sponge fleece. I love Comfort Colors tees. I don't love their sweatshirts. Just they're not soft. They're not soft enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I love the look of that washed vintage stuff for the 1566 and all of that and the 1466, but they're not soft enough for me. So, yeah, anyway.
Literally, I'm going to be like, bye, Dory. Orders a sponge fleece.
Even my mom, who's like way past and into menopause, who is like hot flashing all the time, was like buying one of the sweatshirts because she felt it on me and she was like, oh my God, I want one of those. And I'm like, Mom,
the lightweight sounds good for us Southern girls. Like we need that. We can't have the bulky. Okay, Dory, you may already know this, but I have to, I'm sorry. I'm going off script as I always do.
No.
I know. I'm sure you're shocked. I just interviewed the other day. It will have aired before this episode. one of the top sellers on the new platform, Michael's Maker Place. Have you explored this at all yet?
So I got invited to, they reached out to me and I got invited to the Maker's Place. And Lizzie, I was so proud of myself.
Did you say no because you say yes to everything?
Exactly. I was like, I'm like, oh, I had such FOMO because I'm like, people are getting sick of Etsy. That they're going to be looking for other platforms.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
I'm doing it.
Are you? I was like,
I'm doing it, girl.
Okay.
Physical products. You and me, we need to be there like people. You and me, we will be two squirrels in a. I know. You know what? Here, I'll tell you what. So first of all, she's making as much on Maker Place as she is on Etsy because the fees are way cheaper, and they're doing offsite ads for free. Okay. So they are sending ridiculous traffic from Google, and they're sending emails to their entire list. But more importantly than that, they need experts. So you and me, kid, we could be their OGs. I know, I'm sorry, but I'll tell you what. Stay in your lane for now. I'm doing totally different products. I'm doing engraved boxes. Let me go check it out, and I will be in your Marco Polo all the time telling you what's happening, and we'll go from there.
Did you start the store yet, or you're just like starting to set it up?
I'm just starting this. So this is our episode is going to air weeks after that interview, but by the time this airs, I will have started the shop. I'm relaunching my physical product Etsy shop first. Then I'm doing that because their customer service is spectacular, and I'm in direct contact with two of the executives. And that means I can advocate for our sellers who have problems. It's a whole different thing than Etsy, where I'm just like, I'm an expert and I wish I could do something, but literally no one will respond to me at Etsy. You know what I mean? Like, I've got no pull. I'm like, I can have pull. This gives me so much power for my sellers. So, okay. I went down the rabbit hole. I put a bug in your ear. I am not trying. I really get it. Doing too many things. I really get it.
They reached out to me months ago, and I politely declined because I was just like,
too much.
I don't have another hand to put in another jar.
You follow your gut on that. But I will tell you, I was shocked at the success this seller is having on Maker Place. I thought it was going to be I was really excited about Go Imagine. I still think it's a great platform. I think Go Imagine's a platform where you have to send your own traffic. So if you're good to do social media and everything, go kill it on Go Imagine. They're trying to grow. Michael's is entirely different because they're Michael's.
Yeah. And I need more things that I'm not having to drive my own. I have enough things that I need to drive my own traffic. I don't.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, fine. I've done it. I put it there. I respect whatever boundary you need. I do want to ask you, so back on script, I want to ask you, so it sounds like the only thing we have to have for DTF, I always want to say, I always want the T to be transfer. Is it transfer direct to film? Direct to film.
Direct to film.
I'm never going to get that ever. For the forever, I'm going to say direct transfer format or something ridiculous. I need to know though, what machine do we need? Someone else is going to print the designs for us.
Yeah.
What machine what is the press?
All you need is a heat press. So the funny thing the funny thing is my heat press, my computer that I'm talking to you on right now is sitting on top of my heat press.
Stop it. To give you the perfect elevation. Oh my gosh, is it pink?
Yes. It's pink. And I have a matching hat press in aqua, and I have another pink one as a backup.
Okay. So it's different depending on the type of product you want to do. And then the UV one would be a different product as well, right? A different type of press.
UV, you just you push it on with your fingers and peel it off. You don't press it. You don't sublimate.
No.
It's literally
that would be the cheapest. You could do hard products and you wouldn't need anything other than the prints.
DTF, see how it's clear? So it's 2 layers. So you peel it off, you put it on your product, and you smooth it out and make sure you get all the bubbles out, and then you peel it off, and boom, you have your.
No, you just cracked this whole thing. This is for people who don't have the money to get started.
Yeah,
they can do that, and that is utterly insane.
Even if, Lizzie, I mean, my heat press brand new was $300, but I bought a. Not a crazy expensive one.
What's a good brand? A good starter brand?
Well, so on Amazon, I would say Better Sub is one, which is what I have. I have Better Sub, the 15 by 15. The slide out drawer is a must. And that's what can drive your cost up just a little bit, because otherwise you're going to burn your knuckles constantly. You definitely want the slide out drawer. Fancier Studios has one on Amazon, and Heat Press Nation has a lot too, but you're going to be paying more for Heat Press Nation. But my point is that I spent more than I even needed to, really, but you can find these all day long on Facebook Marketplace,
used,
for $50. So that's
look for the Better Sub brand would be ideal.
yeah, look, Better Sub is good. And that way you can get them on Amazon. And that way, if you have any problems too, like I happen to have a problem with one of my first ones and I got a new one replacement, easy, no problem, because it was, Amazon. So, yeah, Better Sub is pretty well known for theirs, especially when you're just starting off. If you're talking to like the big league people that do this, like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I am one of the people that does it,
Yeah.
but my point is I am one of those people, and I do not need and do not use an expensive heat press. Mine brand new is $300. You can get into doing this for, $100, $150 easily, especially on Facebook Marketplace. So.
I'm so excited. I'm probably going to do it. I don't have the time to.
My hat
We'll
press is
double the nanny's time.
from Amazon.
The hat thing, you've got my attention because I feel like trucker hats are so hot right now.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I just put it's not this one, but it's similar in my shop. And
that green is ridiculous.
Yeah. So this green is doing really well, and it has like a gold chain on it and stuff. But anyway, I put a version of that in my Etsy shop, and I've sold 15 of them in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy. And yeah, those are patches. So you can do DTF on hats, but I also have 5 million embroidered patches that I can put on them too. And it's the easiest, fastest thing. It's so easy. And it's so
Is
fun.
it the same tool? It's the same tool for that?
Yeah. What
is that called? How do you know? Well, you just call it a hat
press. And that also,
sorry.
That also is from Amazon. It was like $120.
And is there, so the reason I keep asking the brands is when we just bought our laser engraver, there's the really well-known brands, which of course are escaping. Oh, Thurs, the really good high-end one. And then what's the typical laser engraver brand? Say it again. The X tool. But when I went on Facebook Marketplace, there were a bunch of for sale that were off brands. And I didn't want to have a bunch of tech issues. That's why so I don't want to send someone down this rabbit hole because I know people are excited, because if I'm ready to go start another one of these businesses, then other people are too. Is it the same brand?
So that started on Michael's place, I'll get you started in DTF. Yeah.
Yes, girl. And then we need to take a vacation together. Let's go to Cabo or something, and we'll write it off.
Etsy's Etsy Gurus retreat, where we all just go mm-hmm.
I have been trying. Everyone's trying to get pregnant. I have been trying to. You and me. It's gonna be you and me. It's gonna be fine. And we could do too. It'd be so fun. What if we did a Etsy seller retreat, and we could go hang out on the beach and stuff, but be anyone listening, if you want to come, here's the resort. We could do a whole.
We could have so much fun with that for sure.
Absolutely, and all just get to hang out. Okay, hat press though, same brands. Do we look for the same brands? Better Sub, fancier? No.
So it's a different brand. I can't even pronounce it, so I'll spell it. It's
okay.
DELCLYNEE. Exactly.
That's not even a word. DELCLYNEE.
Delclean, I guess is how you say that.
Wow. I mean, well, it's probably foreign made, which is fun.
100%. So, and it's been awesome. I did learn my lesson one day when I had 40 something TikTok shop orders to get out. My Better Sub that I originally told you I had issues with at one point, the heating element just decided literally just not to sleep one day. And I was like, I have to get these orders out. So my transfer people they're literally my family now. They're my mom and dad. They're an older couple who never had children. And I called her. I'm like, Rebecca, do you have an extra heat press? And she's like, yeah, come pick it up. So I brought home their a little side heat press they had, and I finished my orders. But Better Sub was really good. I got a replacement, no problem. But it took a few days to get it. But anyway, so now I have 2 of everything because I have a backup.
Are you brand new to Etsy, about to get started, or struggling a bit to find your groove? What I'm about to say is just for you, okay? I can completely relate to where you're at because I think I can help you achieve success faster. When I first started my Etsy shop, it was not one of those success stories that we hear on the big YouTube channels, even on this podcast, where I just had crazy success and it took off right away. Right? I all but failed for my first 6 months, just like a lot of new sellers. And so it's very relatable. And the issue for me was I didn't understand demand, for one. I didn't understand SEO. I was way too broad in my search terms. And I didn't know how to position my product so that customers just couldn't help but click add to cart. And so once I learned those things, I went from making about $25 a month in sales to $6,000 a month and up. And in the holidays, I would even have $13,000 months, at my shop's peak. And the thing about me, if you've been here for a minute, you already know this. I'm a terrible gatekeeper, okay? When I figure something out, when I crack a code, when I get excited, I cannot help but tell everybody who wants to listen. It's like either my best asset or my toxic trait. I can't decide. But I put everything that you need to know to fill that beginner knowledge gap into a low ticket, just under 3 hours beginner course that I have called 6-Figure Secrets to Getting Started on Etsy. In it, I'm teaching you how to find what's in demand for your niche, how to find and use trends, how to start your shop if you're worried about that part, SEO strategy to find the micro niches where the opportunity is, how to understand the Etsy algorithm, and a ton more. The whole thing is bite-sized videos, not long form, just small bite-sized videos, zero fluff, and to the point. You could get the course today, go through the less than 3 hours over the next couple days, launch your shop this weekend, and have sales coming in as soon as Sunday. So let's get you the few missing pieces of the Etsy success puzzle, those little tweaks you need to make so you can start making the sales that you deserve, because I have never been more convinced that there is room at this table on Etsy for everyone. And the opportunity is so ripe right now. I am in the numbers, in the data every day, and my mind just keeps expanding on the possibilities, okay? So as a special treat, use the code SAVE50 to save $50 on the 6-Figure Secrets course today. That's $50 off with the coupon SAVE50. And by all means, DM me or shoot me an email when those sales start popping, because I want to celebrate with you.
Okay, literally, I freaking love talking to you. Oh, we could talk forever.
Well, you knew this
Okay.
was gonna happen, Lizzie.
No, I did too. I knew the second we would actually get to be live together, it was going to be game set match. And we were going to be able to do so many collabs and things together. Let's go ahead and because we got to wrap up here. What do you think is more important to talk about? Big mistakes that you see sellers making that don't make them sales, or like, yeah, let's do that one, because I feel like we always talk tips for new people. We've covered a lot of that. Tell me, when people are making mistakes, I think, yeah, just however you want to handle that question. What mistakes do you see that really keep people from making sales that they could change? And
I'd say the biggest thing is, it doesn't matter if it's Etsy or any platform. I'd say the biggest thing is people are too busy making what they want to make, and they're not making data-driven decisions. Boom.
boom.
Boom. I mean, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. Okay. Long story, really short and quick backstory about how I even got on Etsy.
Yeah.
Okay. My very first Etsy shop was in 2007, and I sold baby clothing. And let me tell you right now, this was long before print on demand. It wasn't even a twinkle in anyone's eye. Lizzie, I was hand stamping letters in text with fabric paint on baby ones.
Oh, fabric paint.
Oh, yeah.
We just dated ourselves.
Yep.
Whew.
Yeah. So anyway,
I feel like it's back.
Just beside the point, but I would say they're too busy making stuff that they love. Now, there's no reason you can't make things you love and merge it with things that are in demand, but you have to understand how to find the data to merge those two things together, because it don't matter what you like. It don't matter.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
So that would be a big thing. I would say people forget that simple sells. Okay, they overcomplicate it. I would say that's a big thing.
Yeah.
They think, especially when they're a new like print on demand seller, they think they have to have these amazing design skills. And let me tell you, I come from a graphic design background. I'm very knowledgeable in that. And
yeah, you're really good.
While it helps me, it's a detriment to me also, because I will tell you that a lot of my good selling things are some of the simplest things. And, like Brittany's told you before too, like one of her most best-selling things of all time was a black and white text or something, t-shirt. I will say that it doesn't have to be complicated. So I would say people overcomplicate things. They sell what they like without any data-driven, data. And they have all the wrong SEO in their titles. They just I just did a shop audit for someone yesterday who she had all of the same SEO in all of her titles. It was the exact same thing. And unfortunately, it was 0 keywords that anyone was looking for on eRank. So those would be the I was like, girl, this shop audit's easy. You got to just change all these titles. Yeah. I mean, so and SEO is also not always the most important thing too, right? Demand is super, super important. But if you're going to get your product seen, you also have to have that correct SEO, because that's what people are typing in the Etsy search bar. So Yeah, those would, if I had to narrow it down to 3 things, I'd say that covers top 3 probably.
I think those are perfect. And for newbies listening, like what we mean by data-driven decisions is that, and you really need a third-party tool to use this. Dory uses eRank, which is a spectacular tool. I use Everbee.
Yeah, I use
You do
both.
use
Yeah.
I only use Everbee, and that's a spectacular tool. And what it tells me is how many people are searching for a particular word on Etsy, and that lets me know that there is demand. Whereas I had this problem with my signs where everyone loved reclaimed wood, but no one was searching for reclaimed wood. So I
Right.
wasn't getting found. And as soon as I changed it to the words that people were looking for, which was hand painted wood sign at that time, this was a long time ago. I don't know what it would be now.
Yeah. Like, don't
I
give away
started getting
your
sales.
keywords. Yeah.
Say again.
I was like, don't give away your keywords. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Oh no, gladly. I'm not doing signs again for nothing. Someone else take the mantle. And then the other thing is finding opportunities where it's low competition. So like
Yeah.
right now, if you use the word wood sign, that's all well and good, but you're competing against millions of other listings. And so you're going to be on page 724 of the search results that no one's going to get to. So unless you
Yeah.
use paid ads, you're not going to organically win on the platform.
Yeah.
So what we mean by data-driven, establish demand and find opportunities that are low competition. And
Yes.
we both have content on that in our courses on YouTube.
Oh my
So
God.
go
So
find
much.
it.
Yes. So much. People ask me, where do I start? I'm like, my TikTok page. I have like
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of videos that, teach you stuff. So yeah.
Your TikTok is outstanding.
Oh, thank you. It's
A
getting
labor
there.
of love. A labor of love.
No, I love it. Actually, this has been the only platform where I don't feel, what's the word? The word's escaping me right now, but I don't feel like, ugh, when I have to go post. I'm
That
just
was way
sitting there.
better than the word.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't dread it, put it that way. Like, I literally will sit here at my desk and I'm like doing something. And I'm like, ooh, that'll be fun to post about. And I'm like, boom, on my phone. Here I am talking to people. Like, there's no thought. No, there's no, it doesn't feel like a burden. It comes so freely. And I really honestly enjoy it. And that's probably part of the reason why it grew quickly. Also because I'm teaching something and people want to learn, right? And they want to learn ways to make money and all of that.
Yes.
So it's a popular subject. But yeah, it grew pretty quickly and I had no idea. So it was going to do
But
that.
also like real talk, you were made for the camera. Like you are really good on camera. You're
Thank
very
you.
engaging. It doesn't hurt that you're gorgeous. Like you were literally like I think it's like part of what you were meant to do is to be so good job.
Thank
Tell us, you're helping so many students with Etsy, with DTF. Tell us some of the resources that you have available that we'll link for people if they're like, you know what, Dory is my person. I love her. Identify with her. I want to do DTF. What do you have available?
You can find me everywhere. I made it super easy. You can find me everywhere, everywhere at Your Etsy Bestie. So
Super
my
cute.
website, Your Etsy Bestie, my TikTok, Your Etsy Bestie, Instagram, Your Etsy Bestie. I post all of my content right now on TikTok. So you'll notice I have like 45,000 followers or something on TikTok and about 900 on Instagram because I literally don't post there. I'm even too lazy to cross post. But, heaven forbid if anything were going to happen to TikTok, obviously I'll be switching over to Instagram. But as of right now, we have a grace period with TikTok. So I will be, all of my content will continue mostly to come through there. But yeah, I have a free training there in my bio, which actually, you have the link for it, Lizzie, because it's in my website link. If they go to my website, the free training is the very first thing they'll see. And that's a great place to start. It actually teaches them, it's called POD Potential, but it teaches them both sides of POD. It teaches them print on demand, like my process for that, and also the other POD, which I'm considering press on demand. Okay. So,
cute.
Yes. So it's 2 types of POD and that's a free training. It's, under an hour long and it just goes through my process and they can decide, like what fits them best. The cool thing about DTF and knowing both sides of it, I want to point out really quick is that I can pull levers in my business whenever I want to. And what I mean by that is, let's say that one shirt that I had on TikTok Shop kind of go like viral, we'll say. I sold over 1,000 of like just that one shirt. If I didn't want to do that though, Lizzie, I could very easily set that up with print on demand and then just.
Oh yeah.
And same with Etsy. Like if it went viral, and on Etsy, or it doesn't have to go viral on Etsy, but you know what I'm saying? If it picked up traction to the point where you're like, I don't want to make all these, I can flip that lever or that switch and I can just integrate that in a POD format and they can take off, but what I would do first is I would get a sample of that, a hard proof sample.
Get a sample. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have gotten a few of those to like ahead of time when I see something getting traction and I'm like, oh, I might want to hand this off to POD at some point. I've gotten a couple samples where, the colors were off and I'm like, okay, we're not quite there yet. And I have to, fix it. But yeah, I can pull the levers and I can make it more hands off if I need to. But I love hand making that. I genuinely love it. Lizzie, if all I did was POD and digital products and it was all passive, what the heck would I do with myself? Like,
come hang out with me.
Yes.
We'll start another business.
Exactly.
No, but actually you kind of, I would have never thought of that. That's brilliant, Dory.
Yeah, you can turn the levers on and off.
That's great. Like, wow, that's crazy smart.
Yeah.
But you also do shop audits and you have a course, right? If people want to go deeper, or they want personalized.
Yeah. So if my shop audit, so sometimes they're full and sometimes they're not.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. But I offer, and this is not a one-on-one coaching audit. It's a video feedback audit. It's quick to the point. It's very inexpensive because, people, when they're first starting their Etsy shop, they typically are not going to, invest a couple $100 into a coaching call. They don't really know what they're doing yet. So this is a very, very inexpensive way for me to just get in their shop, tell them like the top 10 very pertinent things that are going to get their shop going in the right direction instead of having all the wrong SEO and all the same titles going in the wrong direction. Yes. So I have the shop audits, and as long as they're open and available, you'll see them like in my links available. I have the POD University course, which teaches them print on demand and Etsy side of things. And then I have DTF Domination, which teaches them all the DTF side of things. And side note for your listeners, if they enroll in POD University, because POD University is the more expensive of the two. Neither one of them are very expensive, but if they enroll in POD University, they get DTF Domination for free.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So they can either choose and buy them, one or the other. If they really know they're like a handmade person, they just want to do that. Or if they want to explore both sides of things, then they can do it that way too.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, those probably all the places. And again, everywhere is your Etsy bestie, everything, all the handles. So
bestie with an IE, right?
IE, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's super cute. You know what? I need to publicly apologize to you because I totally put that on like a reel or a TikTok a while ago, being playful, and was not thinking that is literally your brand. So I apologize for that, Dory.
Oh, first of all, I have no idea you did it. Second of all, I would have never have thought you meant anything by it anyway, Lizzie.
The intent was playful ignorance. But you are the Etsy bestie, and we crowned the Etsy bestie queen. This was way too much fun. I literally hate that we have to end this now.
I know. Literally, I don't know why you don't just do 3-hour podcasts, Lizzie. I mean, every single time we all know that we need to just keep going and going.
But they're all also like, why are your podcasts an hour?
I know. That. I mean, I personally like that. I actually don't like it when I go to other creators ones and they're just like, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I guess it depends what the topic is, but
I think it takes a while to get into it, to like really, like if we really want to serve people, I think it takes time. And I appreciate, I'm just as busy, if not busier than the average person. I get it. But I want to really like provide value and connect. So this was brilliant. We're absolutely doing it again if you're willing. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you're putting out in the world. Thank you for your positive energy. You're amazing.
Thank you, Lizzie. And I'm definitely going to go like reinstall or whatever my Marco Polo app so we can connect more there if that's where you're allowed. Yeah.
Because we're both walkers and that will literally be perfect.
Yes, for sure. Can't wait.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You should be walking away with a wealth of knowledge. This was like a whole new world to me. Literally, me goes to Amazon and buys a heat press.
Me goes to Michael's Marketplace and decides to get on there. Yes, I know.
Only after I buy the sponge fleece, though.
My day.
Y'all, thanks for hanging out with us. We love you to pieces. Until next week.
Thanks,
Go
Lizzie.
Make something awesome. Bye, y'all.
And that's a wrap on this episode of How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're looking for more resources, head on over to howtosellyourstuff.com, where you'll find podcast show notes, all the links from today's episode, the blog, courses, coaching, and more. If this episode was helpful to you, awesome. The greatest compliment I can receive from you is a rate, review, and subscribe on this podcast.
Not only will it allow us to connect again on a future episode, it lets me know I'm providing you with value and helps other people find this content more easily. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. Have a great day and see you next time.